Alrighty guys, we've been seeing lots of great comments on the channel saying that our production value is increasing, and we really appreciate that. We've been taking a lot of time and effort to make sure that our videos look as great as possible, but it's actually not as easy as it looks. So today, we're gonna show you what it takes to actually make a Yammie Noob video. Let's find out. Now you might think we just rock up here to the shop, jump on a motorcycle, put a GoPro on our helmet, and just go out and hope for the best on our videos and then somehow edit it magically and put it up on the internet. Well, there's actually a lot of detailed thought and effort that goes into a video before we even turn on the camera and the lights. Now, before we begin today's video, we could not do what we do without the support of Cardo Communications. They make an amazing product and their support has allowed us to make some incredible videos here on the internet. Now, before we get started, let's find out where every Yammie Noob video begins. All right, you guys might not believe me when I tell you this, but I'm literally looking at a piece of project management software right now that has Yammie Noob at the title of it, and I'm seeing videos that will go live until July 3rd. We're filming this on May 18th, so we are always planned way out in advance, and Spites can explain to you how we do that.
Right, so it might look like we come in here and we just kind of make things up, but we actually spend a lot of time scripting things out. We sit down and we do a bunch of research into power figures and history and all sorts of models and competitive bikes and all that stuff so we can provide you the best information possible. Sometimes we get it wrong, but we do try to give you everything that we possibly can as best as we possibly can do it. There's always a script for basically every video. The list videos have a big 2,100 word script. Our Thursday and Friday videos have big long scripts like you might see from like a film set almost. And even the vlogs have some form of thesis and thought going into them so that we know what we're talking about. And once we get all of that set up on the back end, we can actually come in here and start filming.
And beyond that too, we also have a team Slack that we use to make sure we're always keeping up to date with everything. We've got a giant advertiser integration calendar as well that Josh uses. He's always up to date with the business development side of stuff too. So it might not look like it, but this is a pretty tight little operation and we usually know exactly what we're doing every single day of the week.
Even though when we kind of screw stuff on bikes, it can go on backwards.
Yeah, that's true. Or I'd spend 20 minutes taking an airbox I didn't even need to take off. It helps to read instructions. Alrighty everyone, as most of you know, this is our primary shot that we use in videos. We like to be here in the main stage, as we call it, showing off the bike, talking about specs, going over the thesis that we're gonna do for the video. And as we do that, I point right over here to Whitney. She's got the camera and a gimbal. She keeps it a nice little movement so we add a little bit of dynamism. That's not a word, dynamicism? What is the word? Well, and this is why we have Andrew, our editor, who cuts stuff whenever I flub it, right? So you guys are here behind the scenes and this happens pretty often while we're making a video. I might screw up a line and then Whitney cleverly uses some B-roll to cover it up and then Andrew gets it in post and we all look good and it actually looks like I know what I'm talking about, right? Meanwhile, all this is happening, we usually whip out of our phones, take a look at it, make sure that our script is going the way according to plan as well. We usually have a nice tight game plan along with our scripts to see what we're gonna be talking about in the day. These main shots are really useful because they like to vary it up and break up the actual action of the vlog, some B-roll. We like to include a wide variety of shots whenever we're doing our videos. Now, before we actually get out on the road, let's pack up our gear and show you guys what we use.
So now that we're getting ready to get out on the road, I wanted to show you the vlogging equipment that we actually bring with us whenever we go out to film. The first and most important thing is this audio recorder. This is how we record our audio from our helmets. This thing is super important because it allows us to manage the audio later in post. And going along with that, we have a microphone that looks probably a little bit funny with this microfiber cloth on it, but this is actually super important as well, despite being zip tied on there. It helps us manage wind noise so that it doesn't come out super overblown and windy. It is a jury-rigged, cheap-looking solution, but it works really, really well. Next most important thing is a GoPro. It's how you actually see what we see. We always chin mount these as opposed to having them on the side because it is a more naturalistic look. And to go along with that, we have what are called ND filters. These are things that help block out a certain level of sunlight so that we can have better looking footage. The most important thing though that everybody rolls out with whenever we're going out to do a vlog is a helmet with a Cardo system on it. These things are super, super important to how we do what we do. And I mean, there's nobody on the team that doesn't have one. Whitney's got one, I've got one, Yam's got one, Josh has one. We always go out with these Cardo systems on our helmets. And better yet, Cardo is actually going to be giving away down below a Pack Talk Black. So get yourself entered to win by clicking the link down below, getting yourself entered. Now, let's go see what these are like out on the road.
All right, you got me, Spite? You got me?
Yep, I got you.
You good? All right, cool. Let's go.
Sweet.
So, if we were to be talking about how the ZH2 is the greatest beginner bike of all time and not the Turbo Busa today, I feel like the first thing we would talk about is just how supple and powerful it is. And, you know, again, the power of this dual vlogging setup really comes down to the Cardo because we can actually talk to each other.
Yeah, I can safely say it would basically be impossible to do this without actual rider-to-rider communication in so many different ways, especially when we're doing a dual vlog like this, because you and I will deliver a piece to the camera and then one of us will listen to it and be like, that sounded a little weird, and we might try again later or something like that. But for the most part, it is much more off the cuff when we're doing these types of pieces to camera as opposed to the other pieces to camera. Those are much more scripted and controlled.
Yeah, because as good as we make it look on camera, because magic, the real magic of this is in editing.
Yeah.
You know, it's really hard to have your thoughts all in line on a motorcycle and be able to ride the bike at the same time and think about, well, I got a camera on my chin, so I don't want to be shaking my head all over the place, you know?
Yeah, it actually is quite a developed skill to, like, keep your head very nice and steady, be talking about the experience that you're doing and the bike that you're on, the relevant specifications, the relevant feelings, the category it's in, and doing it in an entertaining way. Kind of tough when you think about it, honestly.
And with all of that juggling in mind, it's really nice to just have the peace of mind that we turn the Cardos on, and even if we haven't vlogged together in like a week, they just automatically connect and it just works. And even if you get like a mile down the road, because sometimes you'll, you know, ride a little bit quicker through the twisties than I do, and they just automatically reconnect. It's super duper easy.
Yeah, as long as you've got a group that's memorized in the little system, you can usually turn it on, it'll just pair you up just like that. It's a pretty easy setup. Like, as soon as you set it up, you just set up the group, and then it's kind of like a plug and play. Like, you turn them on and they just kind of work.
Thank goodness, because we've had some issues with our GoPros not turning on and working.
Yeah, that's definitely happened before. I remember, I think one time one of the GoPros overcooked and then it just like stopped working mid-ride.
Yep.
There's also that other GoPro that sits in the safe at the office that is, it just doesn't work well at all. It has some sort of disease that we've attributed to it, and that GoPro is just kind of messed up.
So, now talking about the stuff that we would actually say while we're vlogging, I mean, really anything that we can say conversationally, because we can't script this segment. It's too hard to have it scripted.
Yeah, you can have loose talking points, and we usually do, but it's way too difficult to actually have like scripted lines when you're like sort of moto vlogging like this.
Yeah, because sure, we could have it up on a phone mount, but there's too many words to say.
How stupid would we look if we had a script right here in front of us as we're delivering it? Maybe I'll do that for the next list video. I'll just perform it while I'm on the bike right here.
I can't see how that would go wrong at all.
But the one thing I think a lot of folks don't pick up on either is that, you know, when we deliver these pieces to camera and, you know, either on the bike or in the shop, we are usually much more animated than we'd be in real life. Like, way more. I think if I actually behaved as I do on camera throughout my entire life, I wouldn't have any friends. I wouldn't, you know, no one would want to talk to me. It's you know, you gotta be a lot more kind of amped up on camera is what I've seen.
Yeah, you gotta bring a little character to it, a little panache and pizzazz.
if you guys want a fun Easter egg, you can go back and watch some of the early SV650 videos we did in 2019, where Spite first appeared on the channel, and he did some of his first pieces to camera, and you can see how much more developed and animated he's become over time.
I honest to God cannot go back and watch those videos because they are painful.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I went and rewatched one of my early list videos, and that's literally, it's just me in my closet at home shouting into a microphone because it's the most sterile sound environment I can create. And even then, it sounds like, today we're going to be talking about the 7 things you should do on your motorcycle if you're a beginner.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. Needed to get the energy up.
You really do. You gotta just belt out the words into the microphone and, you know, have some fun while you're doing it.
Yeah. You know, I just thought of something else. The other thing I love about the Cardo is that there's so many times I forget to charge it, but it's got a really ridiculous battery life.
Yes.
I feel like it has like 20 hours of use time because it literally never dies, and I barely ever charge my Cardo, and it just kind of keeps working. So I really, really like that too, especially for someone who's as forgetful as I am to recharge my devices.
And I found this one out the hard way. You can actually charge the Cardo while it's on. So if you have like a little battery pack, you can plug it into the Cardo.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
And ride with the battery pack on. I have tested that, and it worked.
Also, another great thing about it, as you see today, we've got some kind of weird mixed conditions. Completely works totally fine in water. I think it's 100% waterproof. You can just drop the thing in water and it still works. They had a display like that at EICMA a few years ago. So if you're riding out with your buddies and it starts raining, don't worry, the thing's going to keep working, which for us is great because sometimes we still need to go out into the field and record when it's wet, right? So,
like it's looking like it's going to be today.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of which, let's turn around, shall we?
Yep.
10 minutes on the GoPro, so that's plenty to work with and trim down.
And this is a perfect example, guys. We're sitting here talking about how we feel about the video.
There you go. Yeah, we're doing content while we're talking about the content. This is a tough one today.
Absolutely.
The lines are so blurred, you know.
Alrighty guys, now we gotta be very careful. There's a wild Whitney out here filming Papa Yam doing some flybys. We gotta be careful. She scares very easily. Alright, now seriously guys, what Whitney is doing here is she's sitting in this corner waiting for Yam to fly by here. We're looking for exhaust sounds, slow-mo shots, or just regular speed so that we can show the bike off in action from a different view. This is something that you need multiple hands to do because, you know, we can't just set up a camera here and leave it. And it's nice to have that motion that you can't get without an extra set of hands. So this is something we do every time we come out to film. And you're about to see him come flying through here.
Hey Whitney, how did that look? Sweet.
Alrighty guys, so it might look like I am a little overdressed to be driving this crossover SUV here, but what we're actually doing is we're filming our rolling B-roll. This is something that we do when we want to show off the bike from yet another angle. And these are some of the shots that you see in lists, some of our transition shots where we have music going in the background. This is all done from a car, and you'll see these not just on our channel, but all over the place. This is how it's done, so if you ever wondered, this is a cool way to check it out.
Alright guys, from my angle here, I usually like to follow the car as close as possible. Normally we keep the speeds pretty low. We like to film in 60 frames per second to keep it nice and smooth too in slower speeds, and slow it down in the B-roll. And using our Cardos, I can communicate directly with Whitney as it's happening. So,
and the nice thing is I'm up here in the front seat also on a Cardo, so I can communicate to Yam if there's anything coming up in the road, because this is quite a setup we have here, this little convoy, and bringing it to a stop can be a bit of a bother.
So now that we're actually done filming and collecting our B-roll, let's show you how we wrap up these videos.
All right guys, seriously, one of the things that I dislike most about filming is how hungry I get on set. I literally never bring snacks with me, and I'm always thinking about what I'm gonna order when I go back to the shop.
You can't order food until we finish the wrap up, man.
Hey, it's halal day, dude.
Yep.
It's halal day.
Gotta finish the shoot up.
Before the shoot's over, we'll post up the bike somewhere really nice looking and then just kind of get some nice tight shots of sexy sport bikes. Of course, the ZH2 is super easy, nice smooth movements, and we'll use them in other videos as well. Now here's some B-roll of me shooting B-roll.
Now that we've gathered all of our B-roll assets and other video assets we want to use for the video, it's time to do a piece to camera to wrap it up. We like to do this to get the thesis of the video nice and tight and to round off the video. Alrighty everyone, now that we've got this ZH2 back here in the parking lot, we have definitively proved that this is the finest beginner motorcycle in all the land. And in case you forgot, we are giving this thing away. Hit the link down below to YammieNoob.co and find out how you can get entered to win this beast of a motorcycle. We'll catch you in the next one. But really, we need to go back to the shop and make sure that we get everything ready for our editors, ingest our footage, and get our title and thumbnail all sorted as well. So let's go do that.
All right guys, now that we've wrapped up filming, there's two very important things that needs to happen. Number one, Spite needs to order some halal when we get back here so that we all eat and, you know, get nice and full tummies before we start thinking about titles and thumbnails. And number two, we actually need to get all of the information off our Tascams, GoPros, Canons, and into the server machine over there so it can be uploaded to the Google Cloud. I think you set all that up and it's kind of fancy.
Yeah, basically we just ingest all of the footage onto that machine, it automatically uploads, and our editors can remotely access this computer anytime if there's any issues. Basically, we have it set up so anybody who works here can get access to this computer and start editing videos.
Yeah.
It makes it really easy to manage.
I like the finger guns while we're editing the
Finger
videos.
guns. Oh, yes. Gotta get the finger gun action going here.
Yeah, well that's really your thinking cap, because one of the most important things we do when we're here ingesting the footage is thinking about what the title and the thumbnail is gonna be for the video, because as you guys probably know, that's the most important thing for all the clickability, right? Wanna make sure that we get the title and thumbnail accurate, so.
Speaking of which,
right.
What's today's title and thumbnail?
Well, how do I say, Spite? It's ZH2 is the best beginner bike of all time, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the what we're trying to show. So
definitely
to cut next to like a Turbo
More
Busa.
Turbo
Busa question mark
for enunciation.
good.
I think
Okay.
3
All lowercase.
under
On either
best
side.
for the authenticity.
On either
Best
side.
on
Yeah,
either
yeah.
side, and I need a parentheses that says not clickbait.
All right guys, thanks for watching today's video. We hope you've enjoyed this behind the scenes look of how we actually make the magic happen here at Yammie Noob. And as I'm holding many Cardo systems here, without them, it would be impossible to make the videos we make. You should definitely check them out in the link down below and make sure you get yourself a communicator because it is awesome. And thanks for watching the video. Now's usually where an outro kicks in, but I'll just do it for you. Keep watching Yammie Noob. 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 Keep watching Yammie Noob.